In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Dear Lord Jesus, Heavenly Father, please seal my soul. Shield me, guide me, protect me in love and light. I rebuke all evil entities. I banish them back to their source, body and blood. Amen. Thank you. I am with Amy Thomas, and I am looking for her brother, Troy Tollett. Are you here? He's here. He looks rugged to me, like somebody who would be outside.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
He looks rugged to me, like an outdoorsy kind of person.
Every time you say something I feel like it's important, it cuts out. All right, say that one more time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I said
say something.
The way that he's coming through, he looks rugged, like an outdoorsy kind of person.
Yes.
Okay. I wouldn't even be surprised if he had some facial hair, whether it was a mustache or like a 5 o'clock shadow. Like, I don't want to say scruffy, but he looks like a man's man. Like, that's how he's coming through. Okay. Troy Tollett, can you show me one thing that Amy would understand and connect with? I feel like this is metaphorical. He put a bow around a finger and says, "Don't forget." It feels like a saying that you guys would have, or it's connected to something very important. The phrase "don't forget," like put a bow around the finger. I'm also hearing keys jingling, like jingling a lot, like a lot of keys on a keychain. If you're just like playing with your keys, like if shaking them around. I just got a quick flash of a truck, like the backside of a truck, and it's a big truck. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. He's definitely here. We're just outside. Like, that's how I feel. Let me ask what he's got to say. Troy Tollett, is there a message that you would like to give to your sister, Amy Thomas? Let her know that I love her and I miss her. Of course, I'm around her. He's speaking about regret. He's saying everybody has a lot of regret. I have a lot of regret. You have a lot of regret. Regret should be a thing of the past. I know that it's hard because it makes everybody really emotional. Everybody feels like they lost out. Everybody feels like they were used and abused. I heard him say softly, battered and beaten, whether that's metaphorical or physical. Troy, go further. I need to let her know that she really needs to stand up for herself more now than ever. If there's something in your life that you don't like the way that people are treating you, the way that they're talking to you, the decisions that they're making on your behalf, even though you're the one you're vocalizing yourself, but you keep getting shut down. He slams his foot down. He says, that's got to stop. He says, he goes, chaos is already among you. He says, you're going to self-destruct, and it's going to make things a lot worse for you in the long run and for everybody around you. He said, it's not about burning bridges. It's about knowing when to burn bridges and knowing how to burn bridges. That makes sense? Yes.
Yes.
Troy, can you go further for Amy? He says, life's got a grip on you, but you should have a grip on life. He's talking about your perception. If you could just take the biggest steps back and let there be as much silence as there can be, because he says he knows how your mind goes and that there's not ever much silence. He says, but if you could just take steps back, take a deep breath, exhale, and look around. Don't even worry about how you got here, but look at, I'm seeing like 5 different people. I can't see their faces, but just 5 different people that are around you. What they got going on in their corner, what they got going on personally that they don't really want to talk about, even if you know or don't know about it. Like, look at everybody individually. He's saying everybody is bouncing off of one another, and it's a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
He says, don't take things personal, because they don't really give a shit. It's not you, it's them. He's saying you get locked up in this tight little ball because you're a very emotional person. He's saying that's beautiful. Most people are not emotional the way that you are, and he says it's a damn shame. He says, but you can't expect people to feel how you're able to feel when they're just being little assholes in their own corner. He says if you can really perceive that and see that, life is going to take the grip off of you to where you'll be able to take the reins, and you can actually start to be more in control of your mind, your thoughts, your life, the way that things come out of your mouth. He says, you got hot temper, girl. He says, your mouth is one thing that gets you in trouble. You go, yeah. Do you want to ask him any questions, or you want me to just keep doing this for another minute?
Yeah, see what else he's got to say.
Have you moved recently or thought about moving?
Yes.
He goes, I should have told her, I tried to tell her moving was the worst thing that she could have ever done. And he said it just like that. I don't know.
It's the best thing I've
Worst.
ever done?
Worst. Let me ask why. Feels like a running away energy. He says you might be happy in the moment with everything that's going on around you. He says, but it's going to catch up to you. He says it's the same situation, same energy, just wrapped up in a different box. You'll be okay until you're not. It's like a blow up, fall apart energy. Then you scatter, scramble, get angry, run. You're right on to the next thing. And then it repeats itself. Why does this happen? Because you're sacrificing way too much for everybody that surrounds you. Nobody around you understands an equal give and take. They think that they're over you or that they can get certain things from you because of all the things that you've been through in your life or the condition that you're in. He says nobody sees you for who you really are. Who is she really? An amazing, beautiful person who would give the shirt off her back even if she didn't have it. They don't see her that she needs, that you need love, that you need to be cared for, that you need to be protected, that you need to be nurtured, that you need attention. You need to be heard. You need to be seen. You need to be valid. They're not seeing these things. They just see you as somebody that they could, oh, I could get a favor off of her. I could get her to do this chore. I could borrow this from her. I could get her to do that or that. It's all about a trade.
I wonder if the move he's talking about, because I made a move right before this one. And
Okay.
I know that was the worst mistake I ever made. So I wonder if he's talking about that or the current.
I gotta ask you, are there like big trees or like a horse around you? Maybe not even now at like one point in your life?
I didn't hear you.
It might not be now, but at one point in your life, if it's not now, are there like a lot of big trees outdoor? Like, was there a horse around or like some kind of big animal or where there could be a big animal?
Okay, yeah, I was living somewhere where they had a horse.
Okay, how long ago was that?
In the last 7 or 8 months.
Is this the place that you left?
Yes.
He's saying that was the bad place.
Yep.
So that was to confirm. He showed me the horse. Okay. Well, there, you answered your question. Okay. So let me ask about where you are now. Troy, how do you feel about where Amy is right now? Only time will tell. You need to mind your own business. He's saying that's huge for you. You are very emotional. He's going to say it again. You are very emotional. You don't have to give your 2 cents all the time. And even if they ask you, you need to, he goes, pour sugar on it. People don't understand you. The way that you come off as abrasive, you come off as blunt, you mean the best. It's your fierce, passionate heart that's really shining through because you've had to survive so many things in your life. You've always been a warrior. People don't know how to take that. So you really, if you want people to, he's saying, if you want people to understand you and how you feel and how your emotions work, you have to open up your heart and allow them to be emotional as well. It doesn't matter if it's a man, a woman, a child, a coworker. I mean, anybody. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. He's saying that's going to get you a lot further in receiving the things that you want, need, and deserve.
Mm-hmm. Who is he with?
There's a male figure. It's older. Feels like a grandfather energy.
Okay.
He said,
Stepdad, I think.
it's like feels like a blend of grandfather, uncle energy.
Yeah, that's not the way. That's my stepdad.
He's rugged too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He seems bigger. Like he seems bigger than Troy.
That's my dad then.
Okay.
Yeah. Do they look alike?
He looks like he has darker feature. It might just be coming through as like bigger, but darker
he had
feature.
darker skin.
Okay.
Had a lot of Indian.
Then he's here. It's because it's
Okay.
very dark complexion is what I'm seeing. Very big, a lot bigger than Troy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Okay. Roy.
Do you want me to talk to him for you? Hi, Roy. Is there anything that you want to say to Amy while you're here? His words, not mine. Let her know that she needs to suppress the victim mentality if she wants to thrive. That's not for anybody else. That's for you. He's trying to boost you as a woman, as a human being who's been in the mud. He's saying you're not in the mud anymore. I don't want you to live there. He doesn't want you to have to keep going back in your mind and think about all the bad things. He says it's only going to keep you stuck. You're in a safer space now to where you could actually shower all of that away and let the sun shine in, is how he's saying it. He says that he wishes good things for you and that you cannot reach those good things in that state of mind. That you're just gonna stay stuck there and keep pulling in bullshit.
Yeah. I want to ask my brother about his daughter Macy. She's been crazy since he left.
How old is Macy?
20.
Troy Tollett. Is there anything that you want to say about Macy? He said, God bless her soul. She's in deep in water. She has very erratic behavior. Go further. Let's ask what he wants to say to Macy. What do you want to say to Macy? Tough love. Girl, get your fucking act together. Just verbatim. He goes, I don't mean to cuss at you. He goes, but this is absolutely crazy to see you from the other side, to watch you this way. He's like, you know damn well that I love you. I love you more than anything else in this world. He says, but you need to understand that there's a time and there's a place for you to act and do the things that you do. There's actually really not a time and a place. You shouldn't be doing the things that you're doing. It feels like he's talking about alcohol or some kind of mind-altering substance, we'll call it. That makes her reach a very vindictive state to where she feels entitled and she lashes out. He says that's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere fast. It's going to get you in trouble. He says you'll lose your freedom. Troy, go further for your daughter. He's saying that this isn't the little girl. This isn't the little girl that I remember. This isn't the little girl that I know. I know that as an adult you can do anything that you want to do, and by rights it's okay to have emotions. He says, but you really need to. He says you don't even know what you're feeling. You don't know if you're angry, if you're sad, if you have something with an R. What? Resentment. He says you're letting chaos rule your life, and there's no winning there. There's a guy that's around her that's not good for her. Whether she's open about this guy or not, it's no good. It feels like abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, drug abuse. There's some kind of abuse around her. And it also feels like backstabbing energy. And it's part of what's driving her. He's using the word schizo.
Okay. What about, does he have anything to say to or about Tracy?
Who is Tracy?
His girlfriend. They actually were broke up. They just broke up.
Does she have lighter hair? Or like highlights or something? Does she have lighter hair or like highlights or something? Yeah. He's showing me her. Troy, is there anything that you want to say to Tracy? He goes, puh. Hold on. Okay. He's talking about how she needs to watch her mouth. The way that she talks to people. He says he knows that she's a good person at heart. She's a good woman at heart. But she gets entangled in a lot of bullshit. Again, she needs to mind her own business. Because it's gonna get her in a lot of trouble if she doesn't. She needs to make amends with the bullshit and the things that she's done in the past, and she needs to let bygones be bygones. She needs to lay it to rest. It almost feels like a smearing campaign, whatever it is that she's doing. Yeah. He goes, I'd love to support her if she could change her life around, but other than that, she can kiss my ass. You go, yeah.
I thought she was doing good, but I kind of wondered because I don't hear from her very often anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe she's not.
There's a lot of gossiping energy about her. He's saying like just because you have this and that in your life, whether it be stabilized job or bills or money, like if you might seem like you're structured on the outside, but internally, he used the word festering.
Yeah.
And it leaks out her mouth, and then it causes all kinds of mayhem for her.
Yeah, she can't stop with that mouth. She gets going and it won't stop. So is she gonna be okay through all this addiction thing and trying to keep straight?
Troy, can you answer that about Tracy? It's like an on and off thing. It's like she wants to be good, but she can't be good. That's the entanglement. He said entanglement again. That's the entanglement that she gets in. That's the festering inside. That's what he's talking about. You might look stable on the outside, but on the inside you're not okay. And for as long as she's not okay internally, it's going to keep wanting to rise to the surface, and she doesn't want to deal with it. She does not want to heal it or face it, and that's what's going to make her want to use. It's an escaping mechanism.
Yeah. Does drugs have anything to do with the reason that he died?
With how Troy died? Troy, can you answer that question? Yes, I heard the word barbiturates. Yeah. There was more than that, but that was a very clear word that came through. It's not something in my mind, so definitely that. Mixing. It's like a mixing energy, like doing more than one thing at one time. And he said he succumbed to it. He drank a lot.
No, he was just a drug addict. He drank a lot every once in a while, though.
It's like this woozy energy that I'm feeling, like, you know, and you feel like, you know, like if you're so drunk, like you're almost like blacked out and like you just can't really like.
He had a stroke, so
that could
be.
Okay. They let me feel what they're feeling in any moment, and I felt like I couldn't see. My head was heavy and wobbly, and just like couldn't talk. Like you can stop that now.
he couldn't talk or walk.
Right.
By the time he got to the hospital, and was very dizzy.
That's what I was feeling.
And I told him a few weeks before that he was about to have a stroke. Of course, he didn't have time for that. So, did I make the right decision by taking the medical equipment off of him and letting it go? Did you want that?
He said absolutely. He cut you off and said absolutely. He said he would never kill himself. He said, but damn, he was ready to go.
Yeah, I know he was.
So, he says too much bullshit. He says no, he wasn't upset, if that's what you're asking. He was just waiting. He wasn't even in his body. Like, he's showing me hovering above his body right before he got disconnected, just waiting. Something about like eyelashes flickering or fluttering, like with his eyes closed. I don't know if you saw that, but he was just not wanting to be there anymore.
Yeah. When he was in the hospital after surgery, they overdosed him with fentanyl on accident, like the whole bag.
Oh my God.
Now, I knew before that happened that he had brain damage and he was not going to live like that, but I just wonder if that contributed to. He never responded again, but they swore that had nothing to do with it.
Let me ask. He said demise, so yes. That was his demise. He's saying he was already on his way out the door anyway. He had health ailments that he suppressed. It's like, you know, something's not right in your body, but you don't go to the doctor. And then it gets worse. And then something else pops up. Oh, look, at a new side effect or a new ailment or disposition. And I'm not going to go to the doctor. I'm going to shrug it off. So it's like he was getting sick. I feel like he's saying he was feeling sick for like 3 years. like not in good health for at least the last 3 years, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. But he wasn't heeding any warnings that his body was giving him. He just pushed it away.
Did he not go to the hospital all the times I told him he needed to go because he thought that if he didn't, he would die?
Troy, can you answer that? Did he cuss a lot when he was alive? Okay, because I'm just gonna relay the message. He says, I went. He says, I went a portion of the times that you told me to go. The reason why I didn't ever want to go was because I wasn't gonna listen to no motherfucker tell me what to do.
Yep, that's him.
Just
for
like,
sure. But he calls and asks me what to do, and then says, "You're not telling me what to do."
He doesn't want accountability, because then that would create change. He doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to do what someone else is telling him to do, whether it's going to save his life or not. It would be more uncomfortable. It doesn't make sense, but he's saying it would be more uncomfortable in his mind to make these healthy changes than it would to struggle.
Yeah, that is true.
He said there is an uncertainty of life anyway. Like, what if I made these changes and I still died? He says, so what the fuck was the point?
Yeah.
I get that. At least he's honest.
Where's all his belongings?
Is there a trailer?
In a trailer?
I heard trash overlapped the word trailer. It feels like there's somebody that knew him that threw away a lot of his shit, but it also feels like there's a lot of shit in a trailer.
Okay. Do you have anything to say about Tommy?
Before I go to Tommy, he said worthless in regards of his belongings. Like no materialistic value really, but sentimental perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's Tommy?
It was a friend of his. He lived with him when he had his stroke.
That might be the person we're talking about. Let me see.
I think it is.
Troy. Before I say anything, he goes, yes? It's like he's playing a game at this point, like, I'm here for the audition kind of energy. It's funny. He's got jokes. Can you tell me about Tommy? Anything that you want Amy to know about Tommy? He's very troubled as well. Struggling internally. I know what suppressed is, but I don't know what repressed is. I heard the word repressed, so maybe he tried to open up and then went back in, like closed off kind of thing. I mean, if I had to guess what that word meant getting better than getting worse. I feel like he's saying that he's living off of everything that Troy has taught him.
Mm-hmm.
Go further about Tommy. He's depressed and he's barely hanging on.
Yeah, I believe that.
I'm not sure if there's like I'm not sure if he has children or a woman, whether they're present or active in the life or not. There's a lot of clouded, sad guilt energy around that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Ask Troy if he's seen Rhonda.
Who's Rhonda?
She is my ex-girlfriend that should be there, or is there.
Sorry, I didn't remember that. Let me ask. Well, she just come marching up on her own.
She what?
She just come marching up on her own. Spitfire. Wild, like just brawling. Put him in a headlock. Hey! Doing this to you.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
She's like, hooey! Like just like loud and boisterous and like party fun type energy.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, you knucklehead. That was to him.
Proud. She passed once before him.
I'm seeing, as I went to ask her about you, I got a quick glimpse of what looked like white gauze or something, like a wrapping. Like, you know how, like, if you have, like, a surgery or a bad cut or something, you're, like, white wrapping? I got a quick glimpse of that. I could not see the body part. I just, like, zoomed in, like, white gauze. I don't know if that means anything to you. I always say what I see, but I saw white gauze. Rhonda, is there anything that you want to say to Amy? I fucking love you, bitch. But she screamed it, okay? She's saying that she's so proud of you that you need to start being proud of yourself as well. The things that you've done recently are not easy, far from that. She's saying this is a good resting space. You need to lick your wounds. She says you need to rest a little bit. She says don't feel guilty about resting. She says you need to learn how to use the word no. She says properly. She's getting on to you about being nicer too.
About what?
Being nicer. She says you can't be all feral all the time.
She would be one to say that.
I like that word, feral.
Yeah.
Gonna use that. Let's see, Rhonda, what else would you like to say to Amy? She said, plant your feet in the ground and watch yourself grow. Plant your feet in the ground and watch yourself grow. If you could... Huh?
What does she think about where I'm at now? Does she think this is where I need to be, or?
Yes.
No.
That's why she said plant your feet in the ground. Like, plant your feet in the ground means be still. Be where you're at. And watch yourself grow. She says don't deal with no manipulative energy. Mind your manners. Work on your please and thank yous. She's saying be more polite. She says you'll catch more bees with honey. She says half of life's problem is because you can't.
Yeah.
She says just try. She goes, try being nice. It won't kill ya.
I try.
She says you will see an absolute 180 if you can work on being kinder, sweeter, nicer. She says I know that you got a big heart. She goes, but it doesn't exude that way. So
Yeah.
she says don't be fake and over the top. Just be more softer. Round yourself a little bit. She says that's what it's gonna make your life easier. You're gonna feel better doing it. And it's going to help everybody around you. She says, think about it. Nobody wants to be around someone who's a mean asshole. She says, you don't want to be around someone that's a mean asshole. She says, she goes, be nice for yourself. She goes, it feels good.
Yeah.
She's right. We got a couple of minutes left. Do you want to ask her any questions?
Gosh, I had stuff I wanted to ask her now. I forgot. Is there a boy Saren anywhere around?
A boy Saren?
His name is Saren.
How old would he be?
He was 22.
Okay. Skinny? Yeah, he's here. He's got like a big Adam's apple, a long skinny neck. Let me see.
He's got what?
Like long skinny neck, like Adam's apple stuck out a lot to me. Yep. Saren. He was troubled. Hold on. Did he pass away? I hear the number 3. I don't know if it was 3 years ago or 3 months ago or how long?
Almost a year ago.
Okay.
It's on April 1st.
He's here, but he's not really. He's not really wanting to talk. It's almost like.
If he has a message for his dad.
Okay. He's crying and he says, I love you. And he's saying, I'm sorry. Sorry for not being strong. It's just a constant weeping cry is what he's giving for me. He's telling his dad that he needs to do better, that he needs to pick himself up, that his words need to meet his actions. He said, no more letting people down. That's to his dad. He's not upset with his dad. He's just... It feels like he's upset with himself.
Yeah. So is he okay now?
Yes, honestly, what it feels like to me is that he's still processing his death. That's probably why he can't really talk to me. When we pass, we go back and we go back home, heaven. We review our life. It's part of the process. There's no time frame of how long it could last, and it really feels like he's still in review. So that is why he's not able to really he's not able to pour out sentences like Rhonda, because he's not available for me. He's reviewing his life right now. I'm interrupting him if anything, but he was able to give me that little bit.
Has he crossed over?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going through the review. There's a woman around him, an older woman. Her hair is kind of wispy. It looks like it's almost like not naturally curly, but it looks like it's like feathered out.
Okay, yeah, that's probably his grandmother. Okay. Well, just tell him that everybody loves and misses him and nobody's mad at him.
He's crying hysterically as you said that.
We wish he had stayed, but we're not mad.
Okay. Yeah, he's closed off. But I will say that he wanted you to know that he was there. Otherwise, being in review like that, that's a very intimate, private thing. Like, you usually can't reach or access a spirit that's in a review. For him to show me himself real quick was him trying to say, hey, I'm here. Like, I can't really talk right now, but, like, I'm here. So,
yeah.
He wanted you to know that he's there.
What kind of signs does he leave his dad?
I felt the wind blow, but really he can't do anything right now because he's in the review. If anything, it was in the beginning. Maybe that's the 3. Like, within the first 3 weeks, 3 months, it feels like things moving out of place. You don't really know how or why it moved or where it went. Like paper straw wrapper or something like that is like what I'm seeing right now. But it feels like wind blowing. Like if you're in a house and there's no air on or no fan and you feel like a little bit of wind go by you and there's no reason for the wind, that's him.
Okay. So Troy has crossed over?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he made it back home. He's just doing the review. Because, like, think about it. Like, when we come to Earth, we come to learn all these lessons, and we have all of these different experiences, and it's not for nothing. So, once we leave our body, our soul goes back to heaven, and we have to review everything that we've done from our first breath to our last breath when we go back home. So, because there's lessons that we have to grab on a soul level of everything that we didn't entertain and saw while we were here. So that's what he's processing right now. But we are at 33 minutes. Was there anything else that you wanted to ask anyone before I close up?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Rhonda's sticking her head out from behind a big tree. It's nighttime. I feel like there's bear involved, like maybe fire. And she's like,
yes.
She says that she's just sending you all her love and she loves you so much. She's hugging you.
Tell her and Troy that I love them and miss them.
They love you too. They screamed all together, I love you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You may go.